As one of the wealthiest members of Congress, do you feel personally responsible at all to address income inequality here in the U.S.?
Absolutely. America is the richest country on earth because we've been able to put capital together and we've been able to make our poor somewhat the envy of the world. If you go to India or you go to any number of other third world countries, you have two problems. You have greater inequality of income and wealth. You also have less opportunity for people to rise from the have-not to the have. The quality of public education, the availability of and access. So, I think America is a good example. Can we do better? I think we can.
Yeah, I don't think the comparison really is the one we want to make, right? We don't want to compare ourselves to India. We want to set the bar pretty high, right? We want to set the bar.
I appreciate your comment, but you're wrong. You do have to compare yourself with the rest of the world. We compete with the rest of the world. If we're going to have people produce automobiles, they have to compete with the rest of the world. Can we be better, smarter, and produce cars in Georgia that compete with Japan? Yes. Can we produce certain things in spite of our high cost of labor? Absolutely. But we're in a global economy, and it's extremely important that we be able to amass capital, have a trained workforce, and quite frankly, if we want to get paid more, we have to be able to produce somehow better than many of those countries, including India.
I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Holy.
My voice is cracking. I'm shaking. This thing was enormous. It had no fear.
That thing was a great white shark, the biggest predatory fish on the planet.
Wow, those guys are so brave.
Uh-oh.
Grills restaurant owner Joe Penovich, his daughter and friend Zach were out spearing for lionfish when they came up on a much bigger one.
And he came up and he said, "Hand me the GoPro. There's a great white shark on the bottom." Now I kind of said, "Are you sure about this?" At the same time, my daughter was yelling and I was yelling.
I'm not getting in, and we don't blame her, but Zach was in, feet from the 12-foot shark, and at one point only armed with a spear. All of this happening about 20 miles southeast of Port Canaveral, a sight none of these guys had ever seen, a sight that's also made them the talk of the town.
That is too close for comfort.
I really wouldn't want to be in the water.
Some in terror and others in awe.
Honestly, it was like a scene out of Jaws.
Avery Fitzgerald is a pretty typical 2-year-old, following after his older brother, but his mother noticed something different about her youngest son.
Probably a couple months ago, I just noticed when I was looking at Avery, like in a light, I would see something in the back of his eye, and I thought,
Julie Fitzgerald started to wonder what it could be and went online and read an article about a woman who saw a white eye in photos of relatives instead of the normal red eye. And it turned out to be cancer. Julie told the story to her husband, Patrick. He said he told her it was nothing, but Julie couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong.
I took a picture. I did not want to take the picture because I just had this dreaded feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I took the picture, and sure enough, I took it of all 3 boys, and the other 2 were fine, and then his picture, boom, I mean, his whole pupil was just white. So, yeah, that's when
That was just 3 weeks ago. Julie went to a specialist who gave them the news.
He took one look and said, there are multiple tumors, and you will probably not be able to save his eye.
It was cancer. 75% of Avery's eye was covered in tumors, and it had to be removed. Had they waited much longer, it could have spread to his brain and blood. The Fitzgerald family found out Avery had likely been blind in his left eye his whole life, but the tumor started growing just 6 weeks earlier. His dad says he has very simple advice for other fathers out there.
Listen to your wife. That'd probably be the first thing.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut, definitely.
Trust a mama's gut.
And don't wait. Don't wait to see if it improves.
Street medicine
is bringing medical care right to the homeless where they are, under the bridges and along the riverbanks, abandoned buildings.
Safety net, anybody home?
It's going to the people.
Can you make a fist?
That hurt.
I've been walking the streets of Pittsburgh for 23 years to treat the homeless. When I started, I was actually really shocked how ill people were on the street. It was like going to a third world country. There were runaway kids, 85-year-olds, pregnant women, and they all have their own story. What hurts the most?
This knee is so swollen.
Once you get to know the folks out there, I knew that I had to keep going.
Are you doing okay medically?
And now we've managed to treat over 10,000 people.
Did they put staples in or stitches?
Infections, diabetes, cancers. It goes on and on and on.
All right, I'm glad we saw you.
For the folks that are willing to come to us, we have a mobile medical van. Then we have drop-in centers.
Just open up again.
Jim, we connect with the person.
You got friends. We'll be there for you, okay?
Then we advocate with them to get their insurance, get housing and care, wherever they are. They're always within our circle of love.
You did so much for me.
It really is a wonderful feeling that people on the street are beginning to get a voice in healthcare.
Good and steady. You got a good heart.
It's something that we should take pride in when we can actually treat people the way we want to be treated.
When most of us fall... We're embarrassed. We try to laugh it off, but when it comes to Shaquille O'Neal's on-set sprawl...
Get him, kid.
What's especially rewarding is the reward Shaq is offering to those who make fun of his fall. Whoever makes the best meme of me busting my wins $500 cash.
No, go Shaq! No, go Shaq!
And up went the tweets. Shaq knocked down by Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali. Shaq sprinting and swimming, playing Twister in a ball pit. Shaq himself was picking favorites, saying, "This guy is winning so far." A guy who added a Kevin Hart joke to the clip of Shaq's fall.
Shaq, when you fall during the games, it's the funniest I've ever seen in my life. That's how you fall from it. No, oh, God, please.
This isn't the first time that Shaq has taken a spill on set. But this time it seemed genuine. Though, who knows, with his 7'1" frame, some joked about the impact of his fall.
Get him, kid.
Shaq was shown dancing with John Travolta, joining Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal, but our favorite so far was called Lilliputian Takedown. It took Robin Montoni about 35 minutes to do, and it was her first ever tweet. Why Lilliputians?
He's so big and they're so little, opposites attract.
Half of those Lilliputians could fit in one of Shaq's size 23 shoes. Ginny Mo, CNN. New York.
Prom. That rite of passage. The perfect dress, the perfect date. And memories to last a lifetime.
Well, he's just my grandson, my great-grandson, not my grandson. He's my son's grandson.
Katie Keith has already been to one prom.
I even went to mine back in 1940.
When the dance was a waltz and the dress was less elaborate.
Nobody had formals, we all just went and are going to church dresses or what we had.
Friday, it was great-grandson Drew's turn at Crothersville Junior Senior High.
She asked me if I was going to prom, and I said no.
I said, well, I've got a dress. I'll go with you.
She's like, why not? It's like, I don't have anyone to take, and I could care less about it.
I'm just joking, never thought a thing about it.
But Drew was serious.
He said, will you go to prom with me? Oh, I said, well, Drew, my goodness.
She's like, no, go find someone pretty.
I don't want to go to prom with you. I said, surely you can find a real cute girl to go with you.
She was like, no, I can't do that. You're the prettiest woman.
So with a special exception from school administrators.
And they said that April is 21. And I said, okay, so I had to talk to the principal and stuff.
And a formal invitation delivered to her house. Katie gave in.
If that kid wants me to go that bad, I'll go to heck with it.
Friday came, and with corsage in hand, Drew took his 93-year-old great-grandmother to a high school dance.
Well, everybody got up, you know, and they was doing this shuffle thing, and Drew said to me, "Let's dance, Grandma. Will you dance?" I said, "Sure." So him and I got out there and shuffled right along with him.
Since their story has come out, Drew's heard from plenty of people.
I know that you've probably received dozens of comments about your prom decision.
Impressed with the young man and his show of respect.
You deserve all the kudos that come your way. I pray that God will prosper you with wisdom, joy, and contentment throughout your life.
But it was never really about that. It was about a great-grandson and his great-grandmother, the bond they share, and a date that will be hard to top when senior prom comes along.
Maybe if she's still there, I'll probably take her again.
You're enough for me. Once enough, yes.